Hello, race fans, and welcome to Disc Golf Daily. We are the podcast that gets caught up in disc golf news and growth in about 10 minutes, saving you time and effort. If you want to dive deeper into any story, links, as always, are in the show notes. Anytime you share the podcast, an angel gets its wings. Our number one news story today, the President's Cup starts today. It is Wednesday. If it is morning and you're listening to this in the USA, or the afternoon and you're listening to this in Europe, turn this off right now. Turn on DGN. This is the best pre-event event of the season. They've been doing it for over a dozen years, and the U.S. has never lost. Team Europe versus Team USA. The teams are set. The best players and the fans' favorite players from each continent will meet in stroke play and match play events until one team is crowned champion. This is one event that is worth watching. Our number two news story, European Open Week. Kristen Tatar is the clear favorite to add another major to her already 6 titles. If anyone challenges her, then it'll be one of the more interesting storylines out of the Europe swing. We've got Silva, Hannah, Evelina, and Heidi are joined by the American women, Missy, Ella, Kat Mertsch, and Paige Pierce. Most of the gang is back together, and in just a few days, we will get to see who will step up to challenge the undisputed number one player in the world for the title European Open champion. On the men's side, Ricky Wysocki has once again solidified himself among the top 3, Gannon, Ricky, and Calvin, and this is his chance to get over his 7-year major drought. 7 years, wow. And not only that, but he's won 2 of the last 4 events without a bogey. Here we go, Ricky. Gannon Buhr became the highest-rated player last Tuesday at 10:51. He's experiencing a bunch of firsts this week. Nate Sexton played his way into qualifying for this event with his 32nd at Krokle. And Vainio Makala podiumed at his 3rd event on Team Innova. He got brand new discs, and he goes and hits the podium at his 3rd event. He knows Tampere better than most. It also wouldn't be a European Open without mentioning Paul McBeth and Paige Pierce. Paul McBeth, who turned 34 last week, has a rich history here, and he's pushing hard to match Ken Climo's major win count of 18. Also, Paige Pierce returns to the course that she did not get to play last year. She's shown flashes and will be one player on the FPO side that will be fun to watch. Our number 3 story, Iceland Disc Golf. This one comes to us from Release Point, UDisc's blog. A guy named Omarsson, who recently retired, led the Iceland Disc Golf Association for 20 years, overseeing a major rise in the sport's popularity. When he moved there, there were no courses. In 2023, about 20% of Iceland's 380,000 people played at least one round of disc golf in that year. The participation rate for, get this, kids 18 to 24 years old was almost 50%. And people 25 to 35 years old, 25 to 34 years old was nearly 40%. Disc golf obviously gained significant traction during the pandemic when it became one of the few activities that we were allowed to play. The surge is reflected in UDisc statistics. Listen to this. Rounds played in Iceland jumped from 17,000 in 2019 to over 60,000 during the pandemic. And they have since settled in at nearly 50,000 in 2023. There was also a 250% increase in unique players using UDisc from 2019 to 2023. Iceland boasts an impressive disc golf infrastructure with the highest course per capita rate globally in 2022, having one course per 4,500 people. And if you listen to yesterday's podcast, you know they got another course this past week. Anyway, this availability helped sustain the sport's popularity even after other entertainment options returned after the pandemic. Despite the global pandemic boom, Iceland's well-distributed disc golf courses kept the sport thriving. One thing Omarsson learned was that you got to make things easy. He transformed Iceland's disc golf scene by learning to make courses easier, thus attracting more players. Initially, he did build the challenging courses, but those failed. Easy for me to say. Those failed to gain popularity. Realizing that easier courses encouraged participation, he created the short Klambruten course in Reykjavik, which quickly became a favorite. This success demonstrated that people are more likely to return to a sport they find accessible and enjoyable. The strategy proved effective in Akureyri as well, where a new short course led to increased use of a nearby difficult course. So the easy course makes the difficult course more popular. Same thing happened at Maple Hill for anybody wondering. Now, it's standard in Iceland to install a beginner-friendly course next to an advanced one, fostering a thriving disc golf community. Iceland's newest disc golf course, Ljósafossvöllur, no idea on the pronunciation of that, my apologies to everybody living in Iceland. It opened in the spring of 2024. It's an hour east of Reykjavik. It's the most well-funded course in the country. This course replaced a low-quality traditional golf course, reflecting a strategic shift to engage more people with disc golf. The vision was to create a destination course that would appeal to a broad range of players, not just competitive ones. The high-quality infrastructure was a traditional disc golf course, including raised, wood-framed tee pads with benches, year-round usability, and low maintenance. This course quickly gained popularity, attracting, listen to this, more visitors in its first 2 weeks than the traditional golf course did in all of 2023. This course's success highlights Iceland's effective strategy of creating accessible and appealing disc golf courses, boosting the sport's popularity across diverse groups. Let's just say that. Thank you, UDisc, for the great article and for giving us the stats. If you want to grow the sport in your area and you've got a course that's really hard, build an easier course on it or next to it. Thank you, and congrats to Iceland. And our final news story of the day, Junior Worlds is underway in Tulsa, Oklahoma. More than 450 players representing 19 countries have hit the courses in Tulsa, Oklahoma for the 2024 PDGA Junior Disc Golf World Championships. The field is deep. The future is strong. 10 divisions are battling for PDGA World Championships this week throughout the Tulsa area, from reigning champions, new faces, and a strong international representation. It'll be a battle to the end, and it's just getting started. Catch tomorrow's superstars today on the post-produced coverage from Gatekeeper Media and Ace Run Pro, both of which will be on the PDGA's YouTube channel. Now it's time to see some PDGA growth. All right, we're going to go over PDGA approvals, PDGA event growth, PDGA rounds, and PDGA membership. PDGA approvals. We've been trailing all year, but slowly gaining. So far in 2023 through July 15th, there were 178 approvals. In 2024 through July 15th, there have been 133, 25% less. Again, though, we were 30% less just a couple weeks ago. We continue to close that gap. PDGA event growth, we're actually starting to outpace 2023. We're now 1.5% ahead of last year's pace. However, the number of people participating at each of those PDGA events is down about 9%. So overall, we have more events with less people, which arguably is better for the consumer, the player. They get more options and they're not selling out as quickly. So that's arguably a positive for the players. And the PDGA membership, this number continues to slide. It looks like we are not going to be flat. Last year, we had about 137,000 members. And in 2024, I am predicting we will have 131,276. Let's break that down a little bit. There are currently 114,000 PDGA members. I already said the estimate for the year. The current highest PDGA number, whoops, that number is wrong. Let's check this out real quick, see if I can get this number super fast. Current highest PDGA number is Matthew Williams From Bonnie Lake, Washington, 291597. We estimate in 2024 there will be over 22,500 new PDGA members, which is 62% of the number of new members we had in 2023. And the problem is we are not retaining members at the same rate that we used to pre-pandemic, which makes sense because we've got a lot of new people and you're just not as sticky in those first couple years. Currently, PDGA retention is running at about 80%. Our target is 83%. Again, not a great week, but not a bad week for the PDGA. Basically, more of the same, and we're probably going to be about 4% down year over year, 2023 to 2024 PDGA memberships. That does it for us today. If you have any thoughts, news, or opinions, please shoot us an email, discgolfdaily@aol.com. Have fun, throw them straight, and hit the thin gap. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. It really does help us grow.